back with another Splinterlands video. So I'm debating whether or not I want to do a super clickbaity title or not. I'm just responding to a comment here about from Stephen Reeves, who said he's quitting the game and gave a couple reasons. And I responded here, just letting him know. I'll read it once I get into the video. But we'll see if I do a clickbaity title or not. Before we get into it, I am Hawks21. I cover Splinterlands content almost every single day. If you are new to the community of Splinterlands or new to my channel, it is awesome to have you here. And if you enjoy this type of content, we also do some other stuff. We do some gameplay. We talk about markets, basically anything Splinterlands related. So if that interests you, you're in the right place. It would be awesome if you could stick around, like, and subscribe. Okay. So let's read Steven's comment. Again, nothing, I appreciate this type of stuff. I thought it was worth responding to. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I don't mean this in any sort of disrespectful way. There's just some things I want to push back on. So this is in response to my video explaining the SPS battle rewards that are coming. He said, "This has led me, been playing for less than a year. I don't, does that mean 10 months, 11 months? To cash out my deck. Holding the DEC currently to see if it goes back closer to peg. That to me, I think is a fine strategy. I sold some cards when DEC was about half of its peg, hoping that it would ride up. It ended up doing it, and I bought some more cards. So, that is a strategy I don't mind, right? And I think I say that in the response. He said, looking at $100 each summoner for silver. I don't think that's true. And $500 to $600 for the rest of the cards to get 2 to 3 splinters to silver. Plus needing to purchase SPS to stake just seems like too much. Keeping my I assume he means 1 cent reward cards and cheap gold foils. Hope you guys do well. Okay, so a couple of things I want to push back on. First, I just said, sorry to see you go. Don't hate the move to try to play back up to the peg. Might take a bit of time, but I think eventually happens. That's true, that's what I think. Definitely want to push back on a couple things you said though. Going to make a video on it. What's your IGN? We'll send you some DEC to add to your collection. Yeah, Steven, if you see this video, leave me your IGN, either on this comment or on the comment of this video, and I'll send you some DEC for helping me make a video here. Even though I don't agree with you, you're helping me make some content, and if you're gonna ride all that DEC up to the peg, I actually hope you're successful. Okay, so first thing I want to push back on is $100 per summoner. Because first of all, that's not even true. So I have the summoners up, right? And he said silver. Let me just double check. Silver level. Yep, so you need 25 of them, right? So let's refresh to get the most accurate pricing. Let's just start, $1.40, right? Actually, let's do this official. I'm gonna pull up my calculator just so we can make sure we have the most accurate numbers. So 25 times, we'll just do $1.40. You guys can't see the price. Times 1.4, $35. So that's a lot less than $100 for General Sloan. You might say, oh, General Sloan is not very good. I disagree. Specifically in silver, I think General Stone's fantastic. Let's just click around here. There's no cheap Wizard of Eastwoods, unfortunately. I really don't like Vieira, so I'm not even going to do this. Tarsa, for example, level 4 right here. Oh, I don't even have to do math. 44, almost $45, right? So you can buy both of these for the $100 price tag you mentioned, right? Thaddeus Brood, 183. 3 times 25, $45.75, less than half of $100. And then we'll come down to the most expensive Chaos Legion summoner, Kelia, and we'll just do the 2.8 times 25. That's $70, right? So the most expensive Chaos Legion summoner is $70, so still not even 100. Again, I don't mean not even 100 to say 100 isn't a lot of money, just to push back at that sort of initial price tag. If that's what you thought summoners did cost, maybe this will help you see otherwise. Not these guys, totally agree. I don't own any of these cards. I owned an Ouster for a bit, but I sold him. But these are super expensive. They're out of my current budget. I would need to sell a lot of things to pick these guys up. So these, totally agree with you on. The other thing I want to say is, if you've been here for such a long time, you've seen much lower prices of these cards, right? Let's take Thaddeus Brood, for example. So if we come up here to month, this is price per BCX, right? So a month ago it was $1.60. As we go along, look, $30s, 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 $15, 93 cents, $30, $30, $25, $30, right? These prices were cheaper weeks ago. And I know, let's look at other ones. Let's go look at Kelia too. Month. So right now it's at about $1.80, $2.50, sorry, $2.80, $2.40, under $2, $2.20, $2.50, $2.40, $2.30, $2.16, $2.17, another one under $2. So these used to be cheaper, right? If we look at a week here, look, 5 days ago it was $2.14 per BCX. That's closer to $50 instead of $70. So if you've been here, you've heard people talk about how cheap the summoners were, leading up to this period of time. And the team and content creators have sort of been saying you need to prepare for the SPS battle rewards to come out, because rewards are going to spike, which means there's a good chance card prices spike, right? So it's not like you haven't had time. There was a huge period of time where you could get packs basically 50% off because of the price DEC was trading at. There was weeks, I made videos on it, Bulldog made videos on it, basically talking about that, you could get packs for $2 worth of DEC because of the price. Aggroed was screaming it from the mountaintops. So there were opportunities that, if you've been here for a year, that you've had opportunities to take advantage of. And you might have reasons for not doing it. Maybe you thought they were going to continue going down, right? And that's totally fine. I've missed out on cards that I thought were going to keep going down that sword. Or, I've bought cards that I thought were going to keep going up and didn't. It happens. But when it happens, the answer is not to sort of say, everything's gotten too expensive. You had the opportunity to do it when it was cheap. Just for whatever reason, it seems like you didn't. So yeah, I want to push back at that because, one, it's not $100, right? Maybe you're just exaggerating, which is totally fine. But you had opportunities to get them far cheaper than they are now. And I don't think that's over, right? We've seen a little pump in Chaos Legion and, maybe that cools off, but maybe it doesn't. I think years and years and years from now, we'll be laughing oh my goodness, remember when you could get Kelia for $2.80 per BCX? Remember when General Sloan was $1.30, $1.20 per BCX? So there's going to be waves to this game like there is with any sort of market. And when stuff starts to go up, if you haven't adequately sort of, as they would say, packed your bags, there's two things you could do. You could do this, right? Which is say everything's too expensive. I missed out. Even though you say that you've been playing for less than a year, which, implies that it's been a decent amount of time, right? Just not over a year. I would assume you wouldn't say less than a year if you were here for a couple weeks or a month. So you've been around, you've had these chances. Just again, didn't happen for whatever reason. And then the other thing is just needing to purchase SPS to stake just seems like too much. So A couple other things there, right? Again, I don't know how long you've been around, but it seems like you've been around for a decent amount of time, given the less than a year. You know, especially if you're talking about pennies and cheap gold foils, it seems like you've understood the game for a bit. There was a huge SPS airdrop that went over for an entire year, right? Like I didn't even get to participate in all of it because it was around when I was just starting to get serious in the game. So it's not like I'm sitting there as someone who got to take advantage of the whole thing. I probably got to take advantage fully of the last like 200 days of it. But they were giving people SPS just for holding assets in the game. You didn't have to do anything else. They were just giving it to you. And the other thing is, there's going to be a period of time right now that could be weeks, it could be months. They said that, you know, they want the SPS delegations and SPS staking on other people to be in play before they make it mandatory to have staked SPS. So there's about to be a block of time where through gameplay and playing the game, you can accumulate staked SPS and you don't have to buy it. And also, just like we were talking about with the summoners, right, where the summoners were cheaper weeks and months ago, SPS is like 6 cents right now, 5 cents, 6 cents. You know, we don't know how much SPS you're going to need, to be fair, but it's not like you're sitting here and SPS is $1 and they're saying, you know, you need 1,000 SPS and it's going to cost you $1,000 to start earning in this game. That's not true. It's 5 cents. So, you know, I guess all of this is just to say, you know, it's almost like the same thing, right? I would call it a mistake. You might not call it a mistake, but I would call it a mistake where you didn't take advantage of the cheap summoner prices. You know, you're now staring at 5 cent SPS that's fallen, right? It's fallen significantly. You know, I'm not even talking about just since the launch, because obviously it's going to fall since the launch. They spent a year giving it out for free, basically. But it's fallen more recently because of these SPS rewards. So you're about to stop during a time where it's super cheap to get SPS, and there are ways to get it just by playing without needing to purchase it. So it just sounds a little backwards, right? It almost sounds like, you know, I didn't get the summoners that I wanted when they were as cheap as possible. So now I'm going to give up because right before, like during the time where I could get the amount of SPS that I need for really, really cheap. So it just sounds a little backwards to me. Again, I'm not saying this to be rude or anything like that. I'm just sort of giving my opinion and my response to what you said. I really appreciate the comment, and I do want to send you some DEC, so if you can send your in-game name, I would be happy to send that over. And who knows, you know, maybe you'll be right. Maybe it's too expensive, no one new will come in. I highly, highly doubt that. But who knows, I certainly don't have a crystal ball. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. Steven, please send me your in-game name. I want to reward you for making this video, for helping me make this video. Okay, hope you guys are enjoying the SPS battle rewards. I hope you're accumulating a bunch of it. Ideally keeping it staked, but I understand if you have to unstake it. I will make a video, sort of my initial impressions, and I am also going to be live on Twitter Spaces. It's going to be my first live thing that I've done with Bulldog Wednesday afternoon. You can come to Twitter and look at both of our feeds, and you'll see some more information for that. But come check it out. Come say hello. I don't do live things very often, so to be honest, I'm a little nervous. We'll see how it goes. All right. Have a good day, and I will talk to you soon.